It's easy to trash cheap wine. It's a lot harder to find a replacement bottle that is significantly better without a significant price increase. Today, we hope to do just that. We're going to tag out Yellowtail and tag in Penfolds. Let's hope it's not a waste.
Welcome to Stop Wasting Your Wine, a wine review podcast dedicated to helping you discover great wines with great value for every occasion. I am Joel, and this is the best damn wine show out there. As always, I'm joined by Aaron and Colin. And like Aaron mentioned, today we're launching a brand new challenge that we are, I would say excited about, a little bit scared about. I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves.
I don't know why we're doing it either.
This was your idea, Joel.
I'm sorry.
Listen, we are really trudging through it at the moment. I'm not sure what we're thinking here, but it's
going to be fun.
Another month of fun. That's right.
It's going to be fun. People.
It's for the people. Okay, so let's tell everybody what we're doing. Today we're launching the Drink This, Not That challenge. Okay, yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to assess some of the most widely distributed, inexpensive, and perhaps heavily panned wines out there. And we're each going to bring an alternative, staying kind of within that price range to kind of say, hey, this is much better for not much more money. Okay. So the rules of the whole challenge are we each picked 2 bottles, kind of our Drink This and our Not That bottle. And the winner is going to be the person that picked the best replacement bottle, widest quality gap with the smallest price margin. Okay. So a lot of factors to consider in there, but hopefully we all pick the right balance.
Man,
not easy. I'll tell you that.
No.
The picking was not easy. And our Not That wines are all terrifying.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad we're doing it because you know what? These are all wines that people who are in the wine world or even like slightly wine adjacent just naturally trash. Sure. Automatically. But they are some of the most widely produced, widely available. You see them everywhere. You see them at your grocery store. You see them at 7-Eleven. You see them at the gas station. And people buy them. People drink them. And they are so inexpensive, wildly inexpensive. And so, like, it's hard to talk someone out of drinking them. Like, how do you talk someone out of drinking a $6 1.5 liter bottle of wine that they like?
That is very tough. But I think that's what we're going to try to do here, right?
That's what
We've
I hope
always
to do.
said that it's not that much more to jump into another tier of wine. And that's what we're trying to highlight here today, I think.
And to be fair, we always trash these wines, but we are a wine review show. And sooner or later, we have to have these wines on our show. And so I'm glad we have figured out a way to have these wines on our show, but not just have those wines be by themselves on our show. So I love this idea. I think it's going to be great.
I agree. I hope it works out. So, let's go ahead and get into this. You have the honor, Aaron, today of being our first contestant in the Drink This, Not That challenge. Tell us what your Not That bottle is and what your Drink This bottle is.
Sure. I'm excited. I'm hoping this is my redemption challenge. I have struggled so far. I do not have a crown yet. So my Not This contendant is one of the biggest names out there. I think one of the most heavily panned names out there. I have the lovely Yellowtail gracing, college dorms across this nation. The Tail Shiraz from somewhere in Southeast Australia. It is from 2023, is 13.5 ABV, and you can get this for anywhere from $5.5, $6 if you're Joel and you went for a liter and a half.
Accidentally got the liter and a half.
He spent a whole $9 on that bad boy.
Joel was so excited about the Yellowtail part of this challenge. He went big. Big
it's gotta
format.
Be good.
I
they
love
put
that.
it in such a big bottle. People want to drink it that much.
So much.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
good.
right.
And if you guys didn't see, it has won more than 700 awards. So
it's got the little general tags on it. Yeah, it's the number one Australian wine.
From who? Anyway.
they don't say.
Yeah, of course they don't.
Yeah. So, but you know what?
Superlatives.
But people must drink it if they make so much of it. It's out there. It's everywhere. You can find Yellowtail wine everywhere.
What if we love it?
But if we want to get people to buy something else, I can't talk them up to a $20 bottle, from a $6 bottle. So
Sure.
what I found is I found a big name in wine that
Huge name.
very big name in wine. I was shocked about this. I got Colin's eyebrows up when I found this, and that makes me excited. I found what their entry into value wine is. So I'm hoping, for something here. I found Penfolds entry into value wines. This is the Penfolds Koonunga Hill, I believe it's pronounced, Shiraz Cabernet Sauvignon. It is their 2023. It is 58% Shiraz, 42% Cab Sauv. It is 14.5 ABV, so it's a slightly higher kick. And this is about $11. So slightly more, but still a pretty small
$3-4
price gap. And I am hoping with a name like Penfolds, the quality gap will be significant.
No, it was a really smart idea because you are going from big brand to big brand, but Penfolds makes some of the most sought after Australian wines, period. So if you're going to go to another big brand, Penfolds is absolutely the one to go to because they're known for quality wine.
Man.
Right. So I'm
And
excited.
Only about $4 more, man. I mean, this is all lining up to be a pretty good contender here.
Small jump.
Yeah, I mean, they're known for quality wine, especially at the top end. We'll see what the quality of their wine is at the bottom
What their
end. But
$11 offering is.
it was a
We'll see
really
if they held
smart,
on to those values.
really smart strategy. Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Excited.
Agreed. All right. Well, let's see here. Let's set the bar first, and then see if we can raise that. So, let's open up this Yellowtail Shiraz, get some first sips, see what we're thinking here, guys.
Joel's
And
going to
actually-
have trouble pouring out of that 1.5 liter
It's
bottle.
so big. I had to put something down here. I need both hands. This is insane. All right. And actually, sometimes we go right into tasting at this part. I actually want us to hold for a second. Let's talk about that nose, huh? What do you guys
Do
think?
we have to?
As
Let's talk
soon
about it.
as I unscrewed the top of this bottle of wine, you could smell it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it burns. It's a nice. It's not a nice burn. It's just that burns the back of the nostrils. I don't know if that must be the alcohol. I don't know, but wow,
Yeah.
it is harsh.
Yeah.
I will say
And that's about
fruity
all.
though.
Super
Fruity.
fruity.
Yeah, you
There's
think
some
so?
fruit in there. Yeah, and then just a ton of
You have
fake
to
oak.
really push past the burn though to get to the
Yeah,
fruit,
you do.
don't you?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
and it-
oaky, super alcohol, dark
Yeah.
fruit.
Nondescript, dark, and red fruit, I think.
Yeah, I
If you had
imagine
to
they
pick one.
took like those oak rods and they just stabbed a bunch of plum with them and they just threw the oak rods into the
No, this is probably oak flavor. Honestly,
not even
at
the rods.
$5,
Just
they're not using any actual wood in here. This is no way.
All right, let's try this. Pretty much as advertised.
This is why wine gets a bad name, because I might get on my soapbox here for a second. At the
do it.
bottom end,
We're only like 5 minutes in.
I know.
And I thought we were going to do it a little earlier, so please go.
at the bottom end, introductory wine, this is what people are drinking, right? I don't think there's any other alcoholic beverage where the bottom end, the entry level is this bad, right? Even when I think of beer, like Bud Light is not comparably this
love
bad.
a Bud Light.
Yeah.
It's drinkable.
So
It might
true.
not be ultra flavorful, but at least I don't hate myself. This, this is just not good. So
Yeah.
when people are like, "Oh, I don't like wine. I don't want to get into wine," this is the reason, because they go and they try what's available, and this is available, and it's swill.
Yeah, there's something like to get outside of the opinion side of it, going straight to the oh my god. I'm trying to put my finger on what is so offensive about that first sip, because there's something
Everything.
very uniquely bad about it. And there's
Yeah.
there's this immediate aggressive hit in the face. And I don't know if it's the
Mhm.
alcohol, I don't know if it's the over oakiness. Colin, maybe you can put more word to what the flavor profile is that's happening. I said to Joel, we took a sip right before Colin, you were grabbing your bottle or something, and it was my mouth immediately froze up. I'm like, I can't talk as well.
Yeah.
There's just an aggressiveness to the entire experience
For sure.
that's just beyond flavor. It's not oh, it's not fruity enough. It's the actual experience of the sip is bad.
Yeah, it's everything's just turned all the way up on this wine for whatever reason, and it's all out of balance. There's too much acid. The tannin, I don't even know if there really is that
There
much
is no
tannin.
tannin.
Right.
That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. And then all just the fake flavors. It's just not. It tastes so manufactured, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, and we've had some really wonderful Shiraz on this show, and this
Mhm.
doesn't even. You can't even really put them in the same category. I guess they made it out of the same grapes, but the fruit doesn't. Is just kind of all mixed in there. You can't really pick anything out. You get that fake oak, and then just it's structurally just terribly balanced.
I think that's the thing that's throwing you to like what you mentioned. Why is it so aggressive? Why is it so weird? It's got to be that fake oak,
Yeah.
because like we've had some odd fruit flavors, in some well-made wines where we're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. This is just like almost chemically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. It's bad. It's really bad. And it breaks my heart that this is what people are drinking.
Yeah.
Because it's not even a good example of Shiraz, right? Like, because Shiraz is such like an interesting wine itself. Like, if this is what you're getting, and you're like, oh, this is Shiraz, like, crap.
Yeah.
Because like that's such a good style of wine, and like this is just so offensively bad.
Yeah. It's undrinkable.
That's a good word. If we were doing
And
first
you have-
sips and just one word, that's a pretty strong contender.
And you have so much of it not to drink. Your
Yeah, I
drain
know.
video is going to be so long, Joel.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for you. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you don't send me a video of you draining that, I'm going to be real mad at you. You're going to make a
You got
slow-mo video. It's going to be 2 minutes long.
Can do. We'll do.
Unless you want to drink it, you're welcome to drink it. No pressure.
No, I'm good. I'm all set on that one. I think we did it. I think we did the yellowtail. So pretty clear. This would be a waste of your wine on the Stop Wasting Your Wine podcast. Let's move on from this. We understand what we're up against here. Let's move into your drink this bottle, the Penfolds Koonunga Hill Shiraz Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, well, can I ask for a traditional first sip word
Sure.
on this, since this is our contender wine? Let's get back into the groove of things. Hopefully, the first sip of this isn't undrinkable.
I think that's a fair request. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you for yours first.
Dry.
Colin?
I'm gonna go with real.
Oh my god, I almost said that.
I was going to go with rounded.
Mm.
I think I like where our heads are at here.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I also think we might be inventing a new way to drink okay wine. Just always start with like a palate wrecker and then drink like okay wine. You're going to be like, damn, this is great.
Yeah. Maybe anytime I bring a wine on the show, I'm going to insist that we drink a crap wine first.
Not a bad idea. All right, but let's break this down a little bit. I think definitely, what we're all picking up on here is there is definitely a difference in quality and a difference in experience. So let's go through all the steps here. On the nose, what are we getting?
Yeah, I would say some dark fruits. Like you can actually kind of pick them out. Like I think plum is one that you could call out. You're still getting kind of that fakey oaky smell.
Mhm.
At $10 or $11, they're still probably not using real oak. And the oak is still pretty intense here, but it's not nearly as offensive as the yellowtail.
Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah, I would be curious. I don't want to make too many assumptions. I know we've talked about, when we talk to folks at St. Francis, like they do also run like a relatively low price, not $11, but 15, 14. And when I wonder, when you have like a big company like Penfolds, like if they are recycling oak or recycling barrels or whatever. So you don't know, but definitely a little fakey oaky, but like not to the extreme, right? Like it's not punching you in the face. And the alcohol, while it's a full percentage point more, it's not killing you the way that the yellowtail is, right? So it's
100%.
like it's there. It's still there in a way that a $11 bottle of wine is there. It's not going to be finessed out the way like $30, $40 bottle of wine is going to finesse it out. But it's Joel, you said rounded.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like it's there. It is still showing its price range, but it's again, I think when Colin was talking at the beginning, like coming from an organization like Penfolds, like someone there is looking at the overall brand and their and the reputation and going, we gotta soften the edges on this bad boy. And I think that's what the first thing I'm noticing.
Yeah, it's just the thing that sticks out to me is it's wild how much more inviting this one is. And you guys nailed it. Like
100%.
it's not like it's, this is not gonna change my life glass of wine, but like this doesn't scare me like the Yellowtail did. That one was scary. So
100%.
all right,
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Let's drink this thing and see how we're feeling.
And I will say one more thing, just so we didn't name them all. Like, you can put your nose in this and be like, oh, I'm getting a little strawberry. I'm getting a little dark fruit. Like, we can name actual foods. Like they're
not
like
just colors, but foods.
Yeah, not colors or not like just experiences. Like, oh, this doesn't just smell like disaster or regret.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so expand on that. Colin, what are you getting on the palate?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, there's a little bit of stuff in there. I think plum was good. Aaron, you said strawberry. I think that's pretty good too.
Yeah.
A little bit of both of those in there, but it's not terribly expressive. But the one thing that really sticks out to me is the acid. And I'm not sure what's going on with the acid, but it's not very well integrated. It just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, and it lingers a lot. Like almost like weirdly lingers. I'm still experiencing the acid now, and I took a sip a little bit ago. So that I think structurally is the one thing that sticks out to me.
Yeah, I think that's when I said dry in my first sip. Like, I think that's kind of what I was getting at. Like the one thing we know with the Yellowtail, we're like, why are there no tannins? Like, how do we have this big red wine and there's like no tannins? Like this does have more tannin. Like this is like a little bit more full bodied than the Yellowtail, because this is a wine and that is not. But I agree. Like there's something missing. That's alcoholic juice. This is wine light. Yeah, but I agree. There's something funny going on in there.
I agree. A little bit bigger body, but what I'm noticing here too is there's actually segments to the sip to some extent too. Like there is the initial, there's a finish, and you can you can clearly see where each is. And again, I'm not saying that it's like I'm in love with this, but at least there is a structure here. And maybe that's the thing. Like we talk about structure of wines. In this case, we can just talk about like the lack of structure in the Yellowtail and some semblance of it. Break that down however you want in this Penfolds, but it's there. And even just that is such an interesting contrast when you're comparing these two.
So there is like a wisp of craftsmanship in this wine. The other one just tastes like it was mass produced without any care. There, you can tell there is at least somebody watching this wine ferment or something like that. It may not be spending all the time in the world with it, but they check on it. They've checked on it once and it's fine.
All right, let's put these to the side for a moment. Let's learn a little bit. Let's come back and unpack all of this. Let's do some wine drops.
All right, so we haven't said this phrase exactly today, but we've been dancing around it and everyone knows what we're talking about. So we need to talk about what exactly is bulk wine. Because, I think people hear that phrase and they immediately think cheap wine, but it's not just cheap. I think when we talk about bulk wine on the show, we are expressing wine that is cheap and wine that is also bad.
Yeah.
We've all had an experience at some point that has set that expectation.
Yeah. I think we have. I think a lot of people have. Like, I think anybody who hears the term bulk wine knows kind of what we're talking about. It's an earned correlation, right? Like people have had that experience where, you see the label everywhere and, you see the commercials. So it must be all right. And then you try it and it's just not good wine. It's not an enjoyable experience. So yeah, I think you're right. When you say bulk wine, that's the feeling, that's the thought that will jump into people's heads.
Right. And again, I think like beyond just the general feeling, like over the past few months, we've had really direct experiences, right? Like we've had wine on this show that is bulk wine. It is available everywhere and it was bad.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we've had wine on the show that is really available all over the place and was really good. So it's really important that we have that definition that it is available all over the place. It is cheap and it is bad. And when we dig into it, we know that there is a reason that it ends up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's all about realizing that when we're talking of bulk wine, we're talking about how the wine is made. And
Yeah.
it's a product at scale. It's in the name, bulk. They make a ton of it. That's what makes it bulk wine. So it's usually a blend from a lot of different sources. We've had single vineyards before. This is not going to be that. And bulk wine usually has a very specific goal. And that goal is to be affordable and consistent. And with consistency, they want consistency in both flavor and structure. A lot of the wines that we've really liked aren't going to have that. Vintage variation is a thing, right? And it's a thing that should be embraced. So when you get down to this level, they want a product that they can sell, period.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's almost like the exact contrast of some of the great conversations we've had with some winemakers on the show recently. We've had winemakers of small and large productions, and they all talk about, just the art of making the wine and constantly asking, how can I make this better? What of the fruit that I am getting and everything can I use to make a really nice bottle of wine? And so when we're talking about bulk wines, I think it's less of that of how can I make this good? And really the question that they're trying to answer is, how can I make this reliably taste the same and stay within this certain price point, which, that might be the differentiator. Like why is there such a difference between this, bottle of wine and the bulk bottle of wine? It's the approach and the questions that they're asking while they're trying to make it.
And even if you just look at the production, right?
Yeah.
Look up the Yellowtail Winery, and it's all metal, it's all stainless steel. There's almost no love just in the way the winery looks, right?
Right.
And then you go look at something like Buglioni, where, the winery it's built to make wine in a way that has a lot of love in it. It's not just built to produce a wine product, which is what bulk wine is.
Totally. And it's almost like when I think about this, it's like even like what the wine world wants out of it. It's like two totally different communities, right? It's like when you think about like your average wine drinker in wine world is like, you think about vintage variation versus like people who go and buy bulk wine as a habit. Like they don't want their wine to taste different like every year. Like they are looking for their bottle to taste exactly the same every year, every time they go back for the rest of their life. So that's the goal. The goal is consistency and volume. So like, where does that kind of wine, like where does that even come from? How do you get wine to be exactly the same every year at high volume?
Well, yeah. Well, and I think that is the question that they are asking in this case. And again, it's another perfect example, Aaron. I think of, they're not asking the question of, what of this region is lending itself to this style of wine I want to make. What grade of the acre here, or, what's the weather, what's the breeze off the water? It's not that. It's just simply what area has the best mix of all of that to produce large amounts of grapes. You know what I mean? It keeps going back to just that question, and what they're setting out to do just becomes about volume in this situation.
And the quality, or honestly lack thereof, starts in the vineyard. Like you said, climate. The only climate that matters here is a warmer climate where you can get ripe grapes and high yields. So they're, usually quality wine, you want lower yields. Those usually make better wines. And places where production is predictable, they want to make the same wine. So they need the volume of grapes. They still are using grapes, believe it or not. So they need the same volume of those grapes every year to keep the price down and the flavors the same.
Imagining so many of our interviews where the winemakers just are so excited to share with us that they use like hand harvesting, and like how much they put into inspecting the grapes, and like really looking at what they are using to make their wine. And I imagine that these wineries, like, or I wouldn't call them wineries, like these producers are actually it's just about quantity, right? They're just getting as much as they can. And so they are growing for volume and they're not looking for complexity. They are just trying to collect as much as possible.
I think that's probably part of it. And then at the end of the day, I think what we're all circling around here is that's why when you drink the end result, it's just, it's a one note. Like you said, there isn't complexity. There's not layers. It's just this, we have made our passable, I'll use quotations, wine, right? And it tastes like it did last year when we sold a whole bunch. Mission accomplished. All right, let me do this though, guys, because I want to pull us back a second. We've had the privilege and the honor of having really great conversations with winemakers. Obviously, we're on our own mission to, learn more about the whole world of wine, and like that's what we want to do. But there's a reason that a lot of this is sold. I think there's a good amount of people who just want to drink their consistent wine. They're not looking to think about it a whole heck of a lot. It's there to be the wine that they're going to drink. So, I mean, I think we should acknowledge too, while we're being a little bit negative, I think on the whole bulk wine idea too, there's a market for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, of course, there's nothing wrong with it. If this is the wine you like and you enjoy drinking it, please continue drinking. We're not saying that. But the whole point of this show is to help people find better wine. And if that's a journey you want to take, it's important to think beyond the bulk wine section, right? Because we've talked about kind of the pitfalls of bulk wine. And there's a lot of other wine out there. To just sit down here, I think if it's something you're interested in exploring, is doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think like what kind of wine you like is important to note too, because I think Yellowtail trying to bulk wine Shiraz and over oak it and do this big alcohol red is terrible and is like really tough. And then there's a lot of like bulk wine Pinot Grigio out there and like bulk wine, like lighter whites that are not as complex and cool as a lot of Pinot Grigios out there that we have found. And like those smaller winemakers should get the credit we want to direct you to. But the bulk cheaper version is not as offensive, I think, as the bulk bold reds. You know what I mean? Like, it's people that like over oaking and high alcohol is going to be inherently way worse than like an 11% Pinot Grigio. So I think there's also like levels to what you're looking for in this realm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair, Aaron. I think at the end of the day, it's just a matter of knowing and acknowledging that from a bulk wine, you're going to get something that the entire goal was consistency. It's going to present everything it's got for you up front. It's probably going to be kind of fruity. They're going for a unoffensive sort of experience. So it's just a matter of, is that where you want to live, or do you want to get a little bit more? You want to find the better quality and really start to experience the different offerings of the wine world. I think that's what we're talking about here. But okay, I think that was good. Nice little, we can't have this challenge and not talk about just bulk wines in general. So I'm glad we took a trip down that road.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think it's time we go back. Let's give our review of the Penfolds and let's talk about this. I think, Aaron, you might have done a good job of finding that margin. So let's break it down. All right. So as a reminder, here on the Stop Wasting Your Wine podcast, we don't believe in numbers when it comes to wine. We believe in just the experience that you're having when you drink it. So our must-share wines are wines that are exceptionally good bottles of wine. They have that little something extra that deserves to be shared. Our solid pours are really good wines with good value. Our casual sippers are enjoyable but not necessarily memorable. And then wines that are overvalued, low quality, undrinkable, these are wastes of your wine. And of course, we all have 3 spots in our coveted wine fridge for our 3 favorite wines of the year.
Joel, I know where you're putting that 1.5 liter of Yellowtail.
You need a bigger wine fridge.
Going right up in there. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some modifications to my wine fridge. But yeah, I think this takes up 2 spots. So, all right, Aaron, this was your choice. I will let you go last. I'm the host. So, Colin, I'm going to let you go first.
Sure. Yeah. So the challenge is to find a better wine in the same price range or a replacement. Did Aaron do that? Absolutely. There's no doubt that the Penfolds is miles better than the Yellowtail. They just put that out there right now. Oh boy, is the Penfolds great wine? No, it's not. It is not very well balanced. The acid absolutely throws me. The flavors are okay. The rest of the structure is fine. But again, this is a backup wine, and we don't have that category anymore. So I'm going to have to put it in the waste just because that's what the system gives me. It doesn't quite reach casual sipper because I wouldn't sip this casually. Again, it is a step up from the Yellowtail. There is no doubt about that, but I'm not buying this again. So for me, it has to be a waste.
Yeah, I think you've said it. So like I said before, I wish we could always just start with a really, really bad wine and then try something good. The more I'm drinking this wine, definitely agreed. Aaron, really, really good job of finding something in the same realm, same price point, and yards better for sure. The thing that when I sit here and I think about this experience, boy, it's just missing so much and hitting some wrong notes. For me too, if you're hitting no notes or, up a little bit, you're hitting some right notes, now you're in the casual sipper area. This has some negative ones. And the one that I want to call out to you guys right now is, what is up with that finish? Like, have you focused on the finish recently?
I haven't, but now that you mention it,
have a sip and just think about that.
I can't.
What is that?
Acid.
It's like the fruit falls completely out. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's acid, but it's not like a nice. Sometimes we have a wine where the acid lingers a little bit, and it's a nice, almost like clarifying experience. This has a little bit of like a little bit of a chemicaliness to it. It's like a very interesting taste that lingers.
Is it? Would you say bitterness?
Yeah, I think bitter is a good word.
There's a bitter aftertaste.
To me, it almost tastes like you're tasting the tannin. Like, have you ever had over extracted black tea or something like that, where you can, and it has that super astringent taste? That's almost what the finish tastes like to me.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. It does not make for a fun experience. So,
it does.
At least at the end, I will call out, not very much nicer fruit at the beginning of the sip. A lot more to offer here. But even at $11, $12, I don't know if I can push it into the casual sipper because our definition is enjoyable, and it falls a little bit short of enjoyable for me. So I'm going to have to say this is a waste of your wine as well. Aaron, what do you think, man?
Guys, it's tough. This is very tough because I agree with everything you're saying. Because I want to like this more than I do, because again, it's comparison. Yeah. The comparison is this is much, much better. And
totally,
if we then continued the line, if someone handed me a better Shiraz to the right, and then I compared it to this one, it would be like, ooh, no. And so I think that's the problem, right? And so I think from a challenge perspective, salesman pose,
go.
I think I crushed it from that sense. I think if these two things were on a shelf and I was like, pick one or the other, you should 100% get the Penfolds over the Yellowtail if those are your two options. Yeah. It is a significantly better bottle. And if your choice is between spending $6 on the Yellowtail or $11 on the Penfolds, spend $5 more. Oh my God. Just spend $5 more. That being said, if your choice is to spend $5 more on whatever the next bottle is, and we need to do another challenge, spend $5 more because the Penfolds is unfortunately not great either. And so I agree with you guys, unless we brought our backup category, because realistically, like if I had to buy like have a bunch of like wine as a backup to a party, like I might consider this like as like if I had to have a bunch of like $10 bottles somewhere. But if I had to choose a bottle just to have and drink casually, this is not what I'd buy. Yeah. So no, this is not a casual sipper. I agree with you guys. It would be a backup, and the backup doesn't exist right now. So it is unfortunately a waste of your wine.
Yeah.
Where it is.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this about the challenge in general. There is a solid chance that we will all have wastes. That every single one of these is going to be a waste, right? The challenge was to find a better bottle in the same price range than the absolute bottom, and I think you did that. Like, there's no doubt about that. But there's a good chance that
And
none of these
none
wines
of
are
them
going to be
are going to
outstanding.
might be great.
They might be. Like, we don't know,
Right.
right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's a part of the challenge. But
It'd be cool if we
I'm
find a
just
hidden
saying,
gem in there somewhere, but
yeah, 100%.
Agreed.
But we just
Yeah.
have to keep that in mind, I think, going forward.
Totally agree. Well, it's been a while since we all agreed on a waste of your wine, but here we are, and I think you guys are spot on. That's why this challenge is such a challenge.
For sure.
This is not an easy
Challenge.
one, guys. This
It is not.
endeavor. So I'm proud of us for doing it.
it's our first
Fun, though.
double waste
Yeah.
episode.
I think so, probably double
Yeah, maybe.
full agreement. Yeah. Yep. I think we gotten pretty close on some, maybe like a Valentine's Day one or something like that. But yeah. But yeah, folks, sorry. Double waste of your wine. Definitely if you are in some weird situation where these are your only two options, the Penfolds all day. But there's probably some other things to take a look at too. So very much looking forward to the next couple weeks of this. Let's see if one of us can find that one that really pushes us into at least that casual sipper category for just a couple bucks more. That would be a real treat. So we'll see if we can do it. In the meantime, though, Aaron, how can the folks at home hang out with us?
Oh man, so many ways. First of all, hit us up on Instagram. That's where we're usually hanging out at Stop Wasting Your Wine. Send us a DM, as the kids would say, or just, like, follow. We appreciate it very much. YouTube, we're there. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you want to interact, if you'd like to come on the show, if you'd like to send us your wine, reach out to us at cheers@stopwastingyourwine.com.
So cute.
So cute. Gosh, I was going to say cute too, Joel. Look at that.
so cute.
It is cute.
Simpatico.
Just
All
like
right.
you guys.
Aw.
You guys are cute.
We're all cute.
It's getting kind of weird now. I like it.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us here at Stop Wasting Your Wine. Hope you had a lovely time hanging out with us, and we'll see you again next week for another great episode. And in the meantime, just remember, stop wasting your wine.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.